Big question. How does civic education affect different aspects of our lives? In the bustling city of Lagos, children from different parts of Nigeria gathered for a special class about civic education. Mrs. Arde Barrier, their enthusiastic teacher, welcomed them with a bright smile. "Good morning, everyone," she said. "Today we're going to explore how civic education affects various parts of our lives. We'll look at the political, legal, social, economic, and cultural dimensions of civic education through some exciting stories." The children were excited. They knew they were about to embark on an educational adventure with Mrs. Arde Barrier. Mrs. Arde Barrier began with the political dimension of civic education. Political education helps us understand how our country is governed and how we can participate in decisions that affect us. She used a simple metaphor. Imagine our country is like a big puzzle. Each of us is a piece of that puzzle. When we understand politics, we know how our piece fits into the bigger picture. To make this idea clear, she shared a story about a young boy named Daniel. Daniel was a curious boy who loved learning about how things worked. One day, he attended a school event where local leaders talked about elections and government. Daniel learned that voting was a way to choose leaders who would make decisions for their community. He saw how his neighbor, Mrs. Okoro, was running for a position on the local council. Daniel was excited to learn that he could help decide who would represent his community by voting. When election day came, Daniel helped his parents at the polling station. He saw people from all walks of life coming together to vote. This experience taught Daniel that politics was about making choices that impacted everyone's lives. He felt proud to be a part of the process. Next, Mrs. Arde Barrier discussed the legal dimension of civic education. The legal dimension helps us understand our rights and responsibilities under the law. It ensures that everyone is treated fairly and that rules are followed. She used a metaphor to explain. Think of the law like a set of rules in a game. These rules help everyone play the game fairly and safely. To illustrate this, she told a story about a girl named Aisha who learned about legal rights. Aisha lived in a vibrant neighborhood where everyone was friendly and helpful. One day, she heard about a community meeting discussing new rules about park usage. Some people wanted to build a playground, while others were concerned about noise. Aisha learned that everyone had a right to share their opinions, and that decisions were made based on these discussions. She discovered that understanding the law meant knowing how to express her views and how rules affected her daily life. During the meeting, Aisha saw how the community came together to discuss and vote on the new rules. This taught her the importance of legal rights and responsibilities in making fair decisions. The social dimension was next. Mrs. Arde Barrier explained, "Social education helps us understand how to interact with others and contribute positively to our community. It teaches us about respect, empathy, and cooperation." She used a metaphor. Imagine our society as a big garden. Social education helps us plant seeds of kindness and respect so that our garden grows beautiful and strong. To bring this to life, she shared a story about a boy named Ibrahim. Ibrahim was known for his kindness and willingness to help others. One day, he noticed that many of his classmates were feeling left out during recess. Some children didn't have anyone to play with. Ibrahim decided to organize a game that everyone could join. He invited all his classmates to participate, making sure that everyone felt included. His actions not only made recess more enjoyable for everyone, but also strengthened friendships. Through this experience, Ibrahim learned that social education was about making everyone feel valued and working together to create a supportive environment. Next, Mrs. Arde Barrier discussed the economic dimension of civic education. Economic education helps us understand how money works and how we can manage it wisely. It teaches us about savings, spending, and budgeting. She explained using a metaphor. Think of the economy like a big machine. Economic education helps us understand how to use the different parts of the machine, like money, to keep it running smoothly. To illustrate this, she shared a story about a girl named Zainab. Zainab was excited about her new lemonade stand. She wanted to earn some money and learn about managing it. Her father taught her how to budget for supplies and keep track of her earnings. Zainab carefully planned her lemonade stand. She saved part of her earnings and used the rest to buy more supplies. She also learned to set prices that would cover her costs and still leave some profit. Through this experience, Zainab understood how important it was to manage money wisely. She realized that economic education wasn't just about earning money, but also about using it effectively to achieve her goals. Finally, Mrs. Arte Barrier talked about the cultural dimension of civic education. Cultural education helps us appreciate and respect different cultures and traditions. It teaches us about our own culture and the cultures of others. She used a metaphor. Imagine culture as a colorful tapestry. Each thread represents a different culture, and together they create a beautiful design. To make this point clear, she shared a story about a boy named Shukar. Shukar was fascinated by different cultures. His school organized a cultural day where students shared their traditions and foods. Shukar brought his family's traditional dish, jollof rice, and shared stories about his Igbo heritage. He also learned about his friends' cultures, including their foods, music, and customs. Shukar enjoyed tasting new dishes and listening to different music. He realized that understanding and appreciating different cultures made the world more vibrant and exciting. Through this experience, Shukar saw how cultural education helped build bridges between people and celebrated the diversity within his community. Mrs. Arte Barrier concluded, civic education affects many aspects of our lives, from politics and law to social interactions, economic management, and cultural appreciation. Understanding these dimensions helps us become well-rounded and responsible citizens. Amina, Tunde, and Fatima felt enlightened by the day's lessons. They realized that civic education was a key to understanding and improving their world.